All right, this video right here is going to go over area of composite figures. This is going to help you along with the homework that you have tonight that if you did not finish it in class, this should also help you with your study guide. So a composite figure is a figure that has, it's an irregular shape that's made up of a bunch of smaller, similar shapes. So we're looking at a composite figure right here, and if you see here, it is not just a normal shape. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and identify the different types of shapes that we have in our figure. So if you look here, we've got a semicircle, we've got a rectangle, and then we also have a triangle. Once you've identified your different shapes, then you need to go ahead and start finding the area. And so we're going to take it one shape at a time. So the first thing that we're going to find is our area of a semicircle. Okay? Area of a semicircle, which is this right here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a little semicircle underneath it. That way we know where we're at. So I'm going to look at my notes or my reference sheet, and I see that the formula is A equals pi r squared divided by 2. Okay? And now that I have got my formula, I'm going to go in and I'm going to plug in my measurements. Now, I know that we've been going over and over this in class, but if you're watching this video, I totally expect you to rewrite your step every step of the way, because you need to follow this formula to a T, and a lot of people are trying to just move forward without writing the formula, and they're multiplying pi times r, but they're forgetting to square it, and they're forgetting to and divide it by 2. So I fully expect for your notes to look exactly like mine if you're watching this video. So we know that pi is 3.14, okay? And we're going to multiply that times r squared. So let's look over here at the shape. So what's given to us is 4 meters, but 4 meters is actually the diameter. So we've got to understand that our radius is actually 2, okay? So our radius, we're going to square it, so I'm going to put 2 times 2, and then we're going to divide it by 2. And now what we want to do is we just want to go and we want to simplify our formula until we're down to just one number. So using order of operations, we're going to do parentheses first, which is 2 times 2. So go ahead and rewrite your whole entire formula. 2 times 2 is 4, and we're going to divide all of that by 2. Okay? Now we're going to simplify again. 3.14 times 4. So I'm going to work that up here. Okay? 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 4 times 3 is 12. And I'm going to move my decimal over twice because there's 2 spaces behind the decimal. So I'm at 1256 divided by 2. Okay? And again, if you're writing your steps, you should see that at this point right here, we're ready to top in, bottom out. So we have 12.56 divided by 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. Bring down my 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 6. And 2 goes into 16 8 times. So, now if we look here, we can tell that we are done. The area of our semicircle is 6.28. Okay? I'm going to move this up a little bit. Now let's look at the area of our rectangle. This is our rectangle right here. Okay? And it tells us that this side is 4. Well, if you remember what we know from our shape facts is that opposite sides are equal. So since this is 4, from here to right here must also be 4. So let's go ahead and look at our formula. Area of a rectangle is base times height. So that is 6 times 4 which is 24. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add these into my shapes. So this is 6.28. This is 24. I'm going to circle them. That way we know that that's what the area is. Okay. Now we're going to go through. We've done our semicircle. We've done our rectangle. Now we need to do our triangle. The formula for a triangle is B times H divided by 2. Okay. So let's look here. We know that our height is 2, but it doesn't have anything about our base. So we've got to figure out, based off the other shapes in this composite figure, what this base is. So it tells us that from here all the way to here, it's 7 meters. Well, we know that from here to here is 4, so what's left over can only be 3 meters. So now we have enough information to plug into our formula. We have 3 times 2 divided by 2. And see how it matches exactly with this? That's what yours should look like. 3 times 2 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3 meters squared. 3. Okay? So I want you to go, once you've found your area, and I want you to plug them into the squares and circle them. That way we can look back here and I can say, okay, I'm finished. I have found the area of all 3 of my shapes. Now that you have found your area, we can go ahead and we can add. So we have 24 plus 6.28 plus 3. And if you look here, remember I'm adding decimals. Whenever you're adding decimals, you've got to make sure that all of your decimals are lined up exactly. So all of our place values have to line up as well. So we're going to start from the left and we're going to work backwards. So this is 8. This is 2. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So now we know that our area is 33.28 meters squared. And that is your answer. Okay. All right, now let's look at a different problem. This one is one that has a little bit more steps than the other one. So let's look at it just like this. So this one says, Alex is making 12 pennants for the school fair. The pattern he is using to make the pennants is shown in the figure. The fabric for the pennants cost $1.25 per square foot. How much will it cost Alex to make 12 pennants? So this one is like example 3 and 4 in our notes. This is where we have to find the area of something and then we want to find the cost. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to find the area of all figures, just like we did in the last problem. So here we've got a rectangle and we've got a triangle. So let's do the rectangle first. A of our rectangle is base times height, and which is 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay. Now we have area of a triangle. An area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So this is our height right here. It gives it to us. We've got to look at our rectangle to know that these two sides are the same, so this is also 1. So my base is 1, my height is 1, and I divide it by 2, which equals 1/2, which is 0.5. Okay? So now we're going to add these two together, and 3 times 0.5 is 3.5. So that's my area of my total circle. Okay? Or my total composite figure is 3.5 square feet. So now that we have found our area, we've got to look at our cost. It says $1.25 per square foot. So now you've got to multiply our cost times our square foot. So we have 3.50 times 1.25. Okay. And 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17. Done with the 5, so we're going to bring down a 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I'm done with my 2, so now I'm going to add 2 zeros, and then I'm going to be done. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 3 is 3. Now we're just going to add all these together. So this is 0, this is 5, this is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay? Now don't forget, you've got to count how many spaces are behind each decimal before we move it over. So this is 1, 2, and this is 1, 2. So we need to move our decimal places back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to cost me $4.37, or 38 cents if you want to round up, for each pennant. But how many pennants do we need? If you look here, don't forget, Alex needs to make 12 pennants.